Good evening. I'm Madison Allworth, and you're watching the Yale Daily Minute. Yesterday marked the 227th anniversary of the American Constitution, and today, those constitutional values were a central topic for a speech from Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer. 300 people filed into Levinson Auditorium to hear him discuss liberty, states' rights, and democracy. He spoke alongside Yale President Peter Salovey and Chief Justice of the Massachusetts Supreme Judicial Court, Margaret Marshall. Last November, Sarah Idelson was elected to her second term as Ward 1 Alderwoman after a widely publicized race against Paul Chandler. 8.5 months later, only 1 out of 28 freshmen interviewed by the News identified her as the Ward 1 Alder. Some students did praise her work on youth services. For now, Idelson isn't ruling out a third term. If she were to win re-election once again, she would finish that term 8 years after receiving her Yale diploma. At the start of this year, Uncommon Market, located just outside Commons, installed a new no-cash policy, causing problems for some students looking for a quick bite to eat. In explaining the change, Yale Dining cited the administrative burden of accepting cash and the fact that it is involved in just 3% of all sales. Other retail locations run by Yale Dining, including Durfee's and Thine Family Cafe, are still accepting cash. The Marriott's plans to build a new hotel in the Dwight neighborhood stalled last week. The new building will be a 6-story hotel behind the current Marriott on Whaley and will further complement it by accommodating extended stay guests. But some New Haven residents had complaints at the last New Haven's Board of Zoning Appeals meeting. Those residents argued that they have not been properly consulted by the developers. The board will vote on Marriott's zoning appeal at its next meeting on October 7th. Yale researchers recently received a grant of almost $300,000 to pursue a new class of green wall technologies. Green walls are vegetation-covered walls that, when placed on the outside of a building, can improve its energy and water efficiency. The researchers will use the grant to test green walls featuring a new heat rejection function. If successful, this improvement could allow green walls to replace cooling towers, which remove heat from water in water-cooled industrial technologies. That's your news in a minute. See you tomorrow at 3 for the YTV Weekly Broadcast.